Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdy Girl Crates, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Manga Monday Reviews, but before we get into that, I want to first apologize in advance. As you can tell, I am not sounding the greatest still. I am still battling whatever this is that's been taking over my life the past week and a half. Hopefully it clears up soon and the audio gets better. But for now, we'll do our best and I'll try to edit out as much sniffling and coughing as possible. So, we're going to take a look at The Breaker, a South Korean manhwa written by Jean Geek-Jin and art by Park Jin-Hwan. And I apologize if I said any of that wrong. This story, well, that's pretty much... How can I best sum this up? Alright, well, I'm about to age myself terribly. But think Karate Kid, okay? Now, for you who might not know who the Karate Kid is, and I'm sure there's very few of you thanks to the new Cobra Kai series, but it focuses on a teenage boy named Daniel who relocates from New York to California and goes to a new high school where he is not exactly welcomed, and he gets on the wrong side of the Cobra Kai members led by Johnny, and he gets bullied. He gets beat up and bullied. One night when they beat him up really bad, he meets Mr. Miyagi, a very kind-hearted Japanese janitor with a master's in karate. Okay, he teaches Daniel the proper way of learning karate and helps him overcome his bullying and become a karate master over time and a champion. This is pretty much like that, except instead of getting Mr. Miyagi, think of a really more hipper, younger, cooler, like Bruce Lee with connections to the underworld. I'm not joking, right? The story focuses on a timid high school student in South Korea, specifically Seoul, named Sai-woon, who is over his head and getting bullied like crazy. But unlike Daniel's son, he doesn't even try to fight back. He just takes the beatings and keeps on going, and just comes back reluctantly the next day and gets beaten all over again. It's kind of sad to see. I mean, he's got nobody coming to his defense, and he is just continuously being knocked around. Meanwhile, a new substitute teacher starts at the school by the name of Chun-Woo Han, and he has a secret, okay? A few secrets. He doesn't fit in the school at all, first off. He is pretty much this really suave, really good-looking guy who dresses the part of an underling, you could say. He's a big womanizer. He's always hitting on this one teacher he works with, and he kind of pretty much, when he finds out about the kid getting bullied, just kind of laughs it off and tells him, just fight back. Like, what's wrong with you? Just get up and punch them. Well, Sai-woo one day is traveling through Seoul, and he's considering taking classes at this martial arts school. Well, he hears a noise, and he catches Chun-Woo being attacked by some people from some kind of, I guess, underground gambling casino or something, and videotapes his substitute teacher beating the crap out of everybody with a martial arts skill. That's like to the point of almost superhuman. Well, he decides to use this to blackmail the teacher into training him. Well, the teacher's still reluctant, and because of where he's from and what his reasons for being in the school are. Okay, because he's undercover, you could say. But the kid is determined to let him teach, and he actually starts to feel bad for the kid when he finds him after once again getting brutally beaten, but this time actually standing up to them because he's protecting a girl he knows from school. He just says, okay, fine, we're going to do this. So overall, what did I think of The Breaker? Well, we're going to start with my favorite thing in the world, the art. I actually really like the art a lot in this. It's kind of different from standard manga. It's got its own signature style. Something I like a lot. In manga, sometimes they tend to copy a certain type of drawing over and over, and after a while it gets old. But with this, it's South Korea's getting its own style, because I've also read Solo Leveling. It has its own style of art. This is not in color except for the first couple of pages. This is pretty much black and white like traditional manga. It's also read like traditional manga where solo leveling is more like Western style when you're reading it and it's in color. This is not. You're reading it in the opposite direction. It's in black and white. The details to all the characters, despite not being in color, are pretty really... I really like that a lot too. Right down to like details on clothing and everything. It's... Yeah, I like it. I like the art. Story-wise, I like that this is taking a different direction than you would expect. It's not really following the traditional Karate Kid story. It's pretty much a kid thinking he's found salvation, but not realizing he's getting himself into something probably worse. More than likely worse. And you have this teacher, or I say that loosely because he's not really a teacher, who's kind of conflicted. He wants to keep the kid far away from his actual world, but at the same time, he doesn't want to let this kid continue to get his ass handed to him on a regular basis. One of the things that does kind of like get on my nerves during this story is Chun-Woo-Han. When he gets all flirty and everything, he goes Sanji 100 times more, okay? It's like the eyes are bulging out of the head. It gets more Looney Tunes, and it kind of like... It's suddenly not the same... How can I put it? The story itself seems much a darker story than even the kid realizes it is. But then you have these moments of Chunwo, so his eyes popping out of his head like Bugs Bunny, and checking out girls, and pants dropping to the ground. It suddenly kind of like takes you out of it. You're like, okay, can we get back to the more serious stuff? It's like, yeah, it's funny, but I rather like focus on the more dramatic, like how serious this situation is. I get that they're trying to show what kind of person Chunwoo really is, and it's hard at times to take him seriously, and I know that's like what you're meant to do in the beginning of this story, but after a while you're like, okay, let's get back to the serious stuff. It's funny, but I rather you keep like to one tone, because when you switch into this like really goofy humor thing, it kind of like, where'd that come from? Overall, though, I think it's a really interesting story. Volume 2 is not out yet, but I am hoping to get a hold of it once it is. I do want to see how this develops and what happens to poor Saiwoon when he realizes what he's actually in, and also finding out exactly more about why Chunwoo is undercover here at this school, and what's really going on, and what's the clan's got to do with everything. It's good. Like I said, the comedic moments take me out of it at times, but overall, I think it's not a bad story, and I think it'll develop even better as the volumes come out. It is available on Amazon and on Right Stuff. It might be other places. It's not one of those that are sold out and hard to get at this moment. So if you see it and you want to read it, I would say jump on it now before it does become another one of those 4-month, 6-month waits. I just got my hands on Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1 and 0, and I'm still having a hard time getting Volume 4. So that, I mean, this tells you right now, if you see something you want to read and it's available, please go ahead and grab it, okay? I'm not being sponsored by anybody. I'm just giving you advice as somebody who's a fellow manga reader. If you see it, grab it. So tell me down below, have you read The Breaker? What do you think about The Breaker? Do you like it? Are you going to continue with it? Are you interested in it? Is there any other manhwa that you recommend? Because I'm looking to do some more reviews of manhwa, and so far the only ones I've found are The Breaker and Solo Leveling. Let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.